group that combines science and comedy in the best way possible. My name is Dr. Clements, and I'm Dr. Tom Clements. And why am I so formal?
You're a nerd.
It's the Halloween.
Because I'm a nerd. Great. Well, we're all nerds, except for Sam. He's a jock. But today, to start things off, before we bring on the science talent of the evening, we're going to start with a fun game to see who's the best with words. Yeah. And it's not going to be me because I am notoriously bad with words. So that's what I'm going to find out here. So how we're going to play is I'm going to get a category. Usually there's words within these categories. And all these people, I'm going to point to them, and they're going to give me things in that category. If they get something wrong, or just say something I don't like, or make fun of me in a way that I don't appreciate, it happens a lot. And we're going to raise their left hand. Remember, Paige, it makes an L.
Okay, this is a word game, not a...
Always left hand. And if they get two wrong, they're going to raise their right hand. And then I'm going to clap twice, boom, boom, and they're out of here. Let's practice this together. Out of here. Great. Now to get things started, can I give a category of words about anything at all?
Types of pants.
Types of pants. Great. Let's go. We ready for pants?
Let's go right now.
Let's go. Pants.
Jeans. Parachute. Leggings. Shorts.
Chinos.
Slacks. Khakis. Loose. Yoga. Tight. Halfway up there.
Okay.
Bell bottom. Quarter there.
Great.
Right above the knees.
Joggers.
Joggers.
Gouges. Like right on your knees. Sweatpants.
Sweatpants.
Below your feet and you're stepping on them when it's raining. Biker shorts.
Yep.
That's not pants, that's shorts.
Nope. Count again.
When you have them cuffed pants.
Great. Love it.
When one is cuffed and one isn't cuffed.
Okay. Great.
When corduroy.
Ripped all the way down.
Great.
When you've got patches on them.
I like that. Patches are sort of style, Paige.
Dang it.
All right, let's get another non-pants related category.
Sexually transmitted infection.
He said non-pants related.
No pants and sexually transmitted infection.
All right, let's just do it. Let's do sexually transmitted infections, not disease. There's a difference, probably.
There we go. Disease is the presence of signs and symptoms.
There we go. Gonorrhea.
Chlamydia.
Chlamydia. Parasites.
Trichomoniasis analysis. I'll allow it.
He allows it. Great. Paige. Paige is out of here. All right, great. So that was a pretty nerdy category. So let's get something even nerdier. Pokemon. Pokemon. Great.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
The pink one.
Hey.
Squirtle.
Squirtle.
Char. There's another char.
Be more specific.
We all know I don't.
What's the other char? That's more than one, Lindsay.
I know that's some, but I'll buy one day.
Let's get another category that Lindsay may or may not know.
NFL teams.
NFL
It
teams.
really does seem well. Okay, Titans.
Yay!
Chiefs. Washington team, I think is renewed. No, the commander. The
Yeah.
commanders.
Bulls.
No.
I'm the jock, remember?
Sam Lakers.
Wait, who's the jock? If Sam's not the jock, I don't know anything.
It's you, dude.
All right, let's get a really cool guy category then.
Avengers.
Avengers. Lindsay, go. Oh, yeah.
Iron Man.
Yeah.
Storm.
Is the Green Lantern?
No!
Great. Let's get another category. Let's get a weird one.
Fun foods.
Oh, I heard
Fun.
You said fun.
Foods that require that just involve buns.
Buns.
No. Fun involving foods.
Okay. Hamburger.
Yeah.
Hot dog.
No.
Oh, it goes
I was thinking sandwich. Okay.
No.
Fine.
Those ciabatta things that
Sure.
have egg.
those.
Okay, let's have a non-food category.
Music festivals.
Music festivals.
Pilgrimage.
Sure.
The one in the farm, Monterey.
Yeah.
Lollapalooza.
Yeah.
Winter jam.
Probably. Yeah.
Ocean's Calling.
Sure.
Deep tropics.
Sounds right.
Lightning in a
I'll
Bottle.
get them.
Metalheads.
Okay.
Warped Tour.
Yeah, I went to that.
Oh, I did too, and that's the only one I know.
Oh,
Yeah.
Great, so now we got these three people left. What's a category that you don't think Sam knows?
SpongeBob.
All right. SpongeBob character. You're the jock, Sam. SpongeBob characters.
SpongeBob.
Okay.
Squidward.
Yep.
Andy?
Andy?
Sandy.
I know we got the final showdown. What is the final one gonna be?
Weird Al songs.
I love it. Weird Al Yankovic songs. Oh, right. Great. Let's go.
Eat it.
Yep. Make it one up.
I can't.
Great, Sam wins! Sam is officially the best with words and still a jock, even though he thinks the Chicago Bulls aren't in a Exactly. So now I'm going to bring up the talent of the evening. This is my good personal friend, Dr. William. He goes by, wait, I fucked that up. Dr. Brian William, of course his last name would be Bill, he shorts it says. He's a microbiologist at Vanderbilt University teaching such classes as microbiology, microbiology lab, and parasitology. He comes to Vanderbilt all the way from the great state of Mississippi, definitely not the worst state in the United States. And he's also from Utah. Any other weird facts about Brian? He's bald. Let's bring him on up.
I'm Dr. Brian Bill. If you didn't get Tom's joke, that's it. Tom asked me to come today and talk about some spooky stories in microbiology. So I do want to warn you that there may be times that this is going to get quite gross. And so if you're feeling a little bit faint and queasy, please exit out the door that way and purchase alcohol from the bar or tip your bartender as well. So this is going to be quite gross. I'm going to start out with one of my favorite stories in microbiology, which is that of Ignace Semmelweis. I'm calling this the Semmelweis effect. What happens when data shows that you need to change? And our story starts in the mid-1800s. And we see this incredibly rapid spike in maternal death rates in developed countries. It goes up to about 1 in 10 in most nations. The worst places were about 1 in 6. So if you can imagine that everybody in this room was pregnant, 1 in 6 of you would be dead from childhood fever. In this picture over here, we're seeing the year 1846 in months. And on the y-axis, this is the mortality rate in percentage of women giving birth and dying. So crazy, crazy. The reason that our death rates, maternal death rates, spiked so much was due to an infection called childbed fever. This is an infection that develops right after childbirth, roughly 24 hours or so after, where the mother develops a high-grade fever that kind of oscillates by these extreme peaks and then these really low chill phases. The blood pressure plummets to the point where the mother is in and out of consciousness. She's confused, she's hysterical. Pus starts to drain from her nether regions. Kind of this thick, slimy, foul-smelling, almost like instant mashed potatoes with like gelatin mixed in it. Pus. This is going to be gross. Some abscesses kind of tend to form, and then another 24 to 48 hours later, the mother unfortunately dies. This infection is caused by the bacterium Streptococcus pyogenes. This is a very common bacterium that causes wound infections, It can cause some pneumonia sometimes, typically associated with skin and soft tissue infections. If you've ever heard of the disease, necrotizing fasciitis, this is one of the organisms that does that, where it strips the flesh off your bone until it's amputated. So pretty horrific, right? And in fact, women at the time, understandably so, became very, very nervous about this disease. And I want to share a quote from a really good book, The Doctor's Plague. She had heard that she must specifically ask to be admitted to the unit where the deliveries were done by midwives. In the other two lying in divisions, the students and supervising physicians delivered the babies, which meant many, many more examinations during the course of labor, and therefore many exploring fingers intruding into the birth canal. Gross. All right? Gross. I see some people making some hand motions here. And that is supported a little bit by data, not just the discomfort of having somebody you have to leave. But in this arrow here, we're looking at the time in 1 year intervals across the x-axis. This y-axis, again, is the mortality rate of mothers. And then we have it separated into two lines. The blue line is a clinic in Vienna that is supervised and run, and all the procedures are done by doctors. In the second clinic, we have all of the procedures, all of the deliveries being done by midwives. What do you see? We're getting there. But then the doctors are much, much worse. And in fact, they were about 2 or 3 times higher in average compared to the midwives. And so why do we think the mortality rates were so much higher? Washing their hands. So a couple people have said this over here and over here. That's not all of the story. It's in fact much, much grosser. We know that they weren't washing their hands necessarily. That didn't become a procedure until like 1880s-ish, plus or minus a little bit. But what do we think the source of the infection was? Because the midwives, they're not washing their hands either. So why would the doctors be so much higher? What's that again?
They're all men.
They're all They're men.
More patience.
More patience. It's actually a different kind of patience. So I forget what this is. So I need a volunteer. You come on. Lindsay? Yeah, a little bit. Lindsay is pregnant. Oh, yes. She comes into my clinic. I am Dr. Brian Hill in the 1880s. And I set her down and I deliver the baby. Baby comes out, okay? Take the baby away, we wash it off, we bring it back. Lindsay's fine for 12 to 18 hours. She develops that high-grade fever, and she dies. So me, as her caring physician, where do I take her? To the morgue. So she goes to the morgue. The next day comes along, and my assistant, not Tom? Tom is a student studying under me. Tom comes to me first thing in the morning, and you ask me,
Why is Lindsay dead?
not that one.
Why is everyone dying?
No.
How are you doing?
And he actually asks me,
What did you do today?
no, what did you do?
What did I do today?
Yeah, what are you doing? As my student, Tom, I think the best way for you to learn is to go and explore a cadaver. Boy, do I have one for you. So Tom comes over here and he starts dissecting Lindsay. And at the time, they thought that childbed fever, the reigning theory was that childbed fever was actually caused by plugged milk ducts because of that putrid discharge coming out. It started out really thin, and it kind of resembled plastic. And so Tom has split Lindsay from top to bottom. He's elbow deep in Lindsay for the whole morning, and then the lunch whistle rings. And Tom takes off his lab coat, he may wipe his hands on his pants, maybe he rinses them underwater and he goes to lunch. And he comes back after lunch, and guess where Tom goes next?
Back in.
No. The students have all just arrived from the dead house, so they're keen to do internal examinations. Doctors must learn from cutting open the dead, you know. So they do that every morning before beginning their regular work up here. Come on up here. So Tom's evening patient is,
I'm Kate.
you're Paige, we did meet. Shit. Okay. Paige is giant and pregnant. She's ready to give birth. She comes down here, and I say, good news, come on. Paige is dilated, I don't know what the terms are. She's there. I want you to help me deliver this baby. And while you're at it, this would be a great opportunity for you to explore the anatomy of the And so Tom, with his cadaverous fingers, starts delivering the baby, and he introduces those bacteria up in there. He's feeling around, trying to learn, because he's a budding doctor, but he's introducing those bacteria particularly deep after dissecting corpses of a patient that just died from childbed fever. Do we understand why childbed fever rates spiked? That's not the end of the story. The story actually has a somewhat happy and sad ending.
Could I live?
No. Roll a d6, and a 6 you got. So, in 1846, right around the time of those figures I was showing you, we get a man named Ignaz Semmelweis. He becomes appointed in the Vienna hospital as an assistant supervisor of these 2 maternity clinics that train doctors and midwives. And Semmelweis sees this problem, realizes it's a problem, and he does what a good scientist does, makes observations, he records data, he looks at the data, he analyzes it, and he realizes that, hey, maybe we shouldn't do this anymore, right? And so in early 1847, he institutes this hand washing policy, and almost immediately, the death rates due to childbed fever dropped by about 85%. There's a couple bumps and peaks in here where he had to start putting policies that punish people that weren't following it. And the story is pretty happy from there on, right? No. Not quite. At the time, we didn't really understand why Semmelweis' policy worked. This table here, we're looking at the different eras in microbiology. We discovered bacterial cells, kind of mid-1600s. Semmelweis is in this transition period where we know that they exist, microorganisms exist. We don't really know what they're doing, but it isn't until about the 1880s, 1890s that we start to actually discover that they may be involved in infectious disease, they may have roles in the environment. And so Semmelweis is in this transition period. And his colleagues, who are all doctors, get this information that, hey, your hands are gross and the practices you're using are bad. And one such doctor was quoted as saying, doctors are gentlemen, and a gentleman's hands are clean. So what did they do to Semmelweis? Well, they took Semmelweis and destroyed his career. That was the first thing. 2 years after instituting these policies that saved a bunch of women, he's dismissed in his position of being in a hospital. It doesn't get much better from there for Semmelweis. He is ridiculed, he has no career prospects. He does publish his work about 10 years later, which helps a little bit. But his family in 1865 convince him, or not convince him, they actually trick him into being committed to a mental institution. Semmelweis does what everybody would do in that situation, and he tries to escape. But he gets caught by the guards, and they beat the shit out of him. They injure him so severely that he ends up with a particularly bad wound on his hand, and 2 days later, or a week later, he dies from an infection of his wound, from sepsis of the wound. This is not confirmed, nobody knows this, but there is a chance that he actually dies from a Streptococcus pyogenes infection, as that is one of the causes of sepsis. Crazy, right? So Semmelweis dies. And all of this is, that's a gross and awesome story, but I want to bring up this idea of the Semmelweis reflex, which is kind of illustrated by this. This is the tendency to reject new evidence or knowledge because it contradicts what you knew before. A gentleman's hands are clean, and so you saying we're dirty is bad, right? And I want to point out the Semmelweis reflex for a couple of reasons. And the first is that everybody believes that something's not true. We're all susceptible to misinformation at some point or the other. I do ask that you treat your peers with respect and compassion as they navigate the problems of being a human. But I do want you to walk away from this learning to recognize that Semmelweis reflex. And when you feel yourself kind of rejecting new information, ask yourself, what evidence would I need to see to change my mind so that I'm not dissecting a corpse and then delivering a baby, right? And then go look for that information. You may discover an event occurring in a couple of months. It is very heated and surrounded with a lot of misinformation. And so I do encourage you to look at your positions and views and kind of come up with the evidence that supports your decisions. And that is all I have for the first little half.
Yes. Okay. We're gonna warm ourselves back up with a game where we do micro scenes. So we're gonna have 2 players at any given time giving a different scene, and then I'm just gonna be the mastermind, and they'll do what I want them to do. That's all I need to know. But to get us started, I need some suggestions. So, can I get a suggestion of an object that you might find in a doctor's
Stethoscope.
Stethoscope. Rotate right. You see how this goes? All right. All right. Now we got Mary Claire and Sarah. Let's get them. Let's do something more fun, like a song title.
Dr. Feelgood.
Dr. Feelgood.
Okay. Rotate right. And for Sarah and Sam, can I get a place where you have been scared in the past?
The basement.
The basement. Rotate right. And then lastly, for Sam and Paige, can I get a suggestion of anything in the world?
Air.
Air. Okay, so let's just revisit these quickly. Rotate right. Paige and Mary Claire.
Stethoscope.
Rotate right.
Dr. Feelgood.
Rotate right.
The basement.
Rotate right.
Air.
Great. Rotate right and let's begin.
What? That.
Okay.
You can go first if you want.
I'm sorry,
I'm just nervous. We have to do the CPR training every year, but it just makes me so nervous. Like, what's the beat? You know, like what they changed up this year. Right.
Rotate right.
Doctor, I don't feel so good. Well, the stomach bug has been going around. I'm sure I've got something here. Robitussin.
My throat hurts as well.
I mean,
Everything just.
if you drink enough of this, you'll just get some rest.
Rotate right.
So you want to enter my basement?
Yes, please.
Before you enter, you must answer me these 3 riddles. Riddle the first. How do I save money on my car insurance?
Oh, I know this one. You switched to Geico.
See, I have Geico now.
Rotate right.
We made it past the walls.
There's air again.
Really being in that bubble, you don't really think about how little air you get.
It's a closed bubble.
You know what? I know we talked about it in there all the time, about breaking out.
And getting married.
Rotate right.
Oh, wow. Oh, no. I just think you. No, just the. There's some. What? There's someone in the street that needs CPR. No.
Rotate right.
Now you must answer riddle the second. How do you keep your lawn so well kept?
Goats.
I am allergic.
Birthday right.
I gotta be honest. I didn't think we were gonna break out. I didn't think I was gonna have to marry you. I was betrothed to nothing before I went in the home.
No one wants to take the bubble boy.
What? You can, I can. No. I just,
She's dead.
Birthday right. Birthday right.
All right, riddle the third. Kill me.
Empty.
All right, as we learned earlier, Tom is really bad at anatomy, and that's why he's single right now. So we're going to try to get Tom, hey, we're going to try to help him out a little bit. Tom is going to be a contestant on our favorite dating game, the carpet dating. But Tom can't know who the contestants are going to be, so we're going to send Tom out of the room. Let's say, Tom, get out of here on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, Tom, get out of here! And he's going to make his way out to the back of the theater. Give it up to Tom as he makes his way out of the theater. And here we have our 3 potential contestants for Tom to date. But before we can figure out who Tom's going to date, we need to know who they are. So first, I need a famous person, cartoon character, any kind of person, celebrity.
Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny?
Sure.
Is going to be Bugs Bunny. Our next person is going to have some sort of irrational fear. What's a weird thing to have a fear of? So not like arachnophobia, but like a fear of
Showers.
chairs. Or showers. You're afraid of showers. Paige is so afraid of showers, just like those doctors back in whatever times. Which means that Mary Claire is our third contestant. She's going to be turning into some kind of object. What object will Mary Claire be turning into throughout this game? A chair.
Okay.
So you're going to sit in your
I'll
chair.
sit in the chair.
Great, so let's recap who we have here. We have contestant number 1,
I'm Bugs Bunny.
contestant number 2,
I'm afraid of showers.
and contestant number 3.
I am slowly turning into a chair.
Wonderful. Let's get our bachelor back in here on the count of 3. Say, get back in here. 1, 2, 3. Get back in here! All right. Tom, how you doing today?
I've been told to keep my hands and fingers away from the women.
Correct. All right. We have 3 lovely contestants who would be mildly interested in going on a date with you today, Tom.
That's surprising.
After what happened earlier, I agree. Let's throw them all one kind of general question that they could all answer.
All right, everyone. I don't have a lot of money. I just got fired at my job working at the fertility clinic. So, how could you help a brother out down on his luck?
Contestant number 1, how would you help somebody who's down on their luck?
Yeah, well, I don't really care about people who are down their luck, but I do have a hole in the ground you could, maybe. I mean.
All right, contestant number 2, how would you help somebody who's down on their luck?
Well, I'm definitely not reining in the money. That's not what I'm here for. But you know what? Just giving time. You know, I've got a lot of time to give. You know, I just want to make sure nobody's out in the cold and the terrible weather and the rain. Just not a good idea. Just get them out as quickly as possible.
Great. Contestant number 3.
Well, if you're down on your luck, I would say, you know, take a load up. You know, take a load up, take a seat. Yeah, let Chase lounge you. Just take care of you.
All right, Tom. I think we have some lovely contestants here. Don't you agree?
I would agree, yes.
Yeah, let's ask them each one specific question. You can throw out any question you want to each.
That's number 1. Like hanging down a hole sounds kind of nice. So what would we do if we came over to the hole and dig out?
Well, I like to antagonize people, so I'd probably just, you know, go find some, like, guys in the woods and just drive them insane. They're so easy to trick, though, you know? So that's kind of fun for me. Would you like that?
I very, like, that we gotta help a lot of people. I'm down to do that too. I think we should just, my ideal first days, we just go to the park, hang out, no shelter whatsoever, and have like a picnic. Would you be into that?
You know, if it's a nice day, it's not too hot where I'll get too sweaty, I definitely think sweat, it just would not work, you know, for a lovely picnic. But yeah, if we just sit away from other people, you know, it would also be kind of nice to just kind of, you know, make sure that I've got this like beautiful scent of nature and just, what do you mean?
Thank you, contestant number 2. Contestant number 3, Tom.
Contestant number 3, you seem really comfy. Number 3, if we were to be cuddling on the couch, would you rather be big spoon or little spoon?
I really definitely prefer big spoon. In fact, I don't know that I'm even capable of being little spoon. It's never happened.
I do like tall women, so I'm up for a challenge.
All right, Tom, let's talk a little bit. How do you feel about contestant number 1? Any thoughts?
Contestant number 1 kind of scares me.
Come on.
All right, any thoughts about contestant number 2?
Contestant number 2, I'm concerned for her that like she still might be living in COVID times and you have to be away from everything, especially away from all liquids, it seems.
Okay, and how do you feel about contestant number 3?
Contestant number 3 seems just like the sweetest. Like I could
So,
just,
you can see you going on a date with somebody who...
I could see myself going on a date with someone who's becoming a chair or a couch.
We're still kind of not sure about number 1 and 2 yet.
I mean, number 1's probably definitely an out.
Why would you say that?
I mean, it seems more like we're gonna go in the woods and like round up homeless people and.
Well, that's not the season. It's not the season for that.
No, it's not. It is not the season for that.
Oh man, I don't know if I could go on a date with Elmer Fudd.
Well, neither could I. Look. Although I did try to trick him once.
You kissed him several times.
Kissing is not the same. And
Wait, do I have to go on a date with a furry?
don't loop me in with those people.
Let's move on to contestant number 2. How do you feel about contestant number 2?
She seems very into her like BO and like any sort of sweat.
Maybe you ask her a question.
Yeah, contestant number 2. If we could go any place for dinner at all, with no money, money's not an issue. Where would we go?
Where would we go?
Sure.
Oh man.
Be as specific as possible.
I mean, we could go anywhere. I would prefer like not anywhere, like maybe not the Rainforest Cafe. Probably be something I would not. Or the aquarium is probably. Let's just avoid all of that as well.
Can I just? Are
Anything
you just
up in
afraid of
space.
water?
Well, just sometimes falling from the sky is a little scary, you know.
No.
And
Especially when it's indoors.
Have you never taken a shower?
don't say that word.
Okay, guess on the chair. How are we feeling about is always afraid of showers?
I think we gotta go no on that.
No, on that one makes sense.
Yes.
All right, so we still got to figure out how you feel about contestant number 1.
Contestant number 1, like, I'm not that into Elmer Fudd, but I could be into Bugs Bunny.
All right, for this next piece, we are going to start a scene, and within this scene, every now and then they're going to have maybe a choice that I would like to see get bigger or smaller or change altogether. And I'm going to ring this bell that I'm going to find in just a minute. I'm going to ring this bell and require them to do a new choice. And so to kick this scene off, why thank you. Let me get a location that was like common in the 1800s, but you might not necessarily talk about commonly now. And like a location that just immediately makes you think 1800s.
Powder room.
Powder room. All right, your suggestion is powder room.
Oh my God, there's pus coming out of everywhere.
Let me just put some leeches on you.
No choice.
Let me just put my hands in the pus.
No choice.
Let me, like just grab the pus, kind of taste it a little bit, and then be like, that's good pus. It's
Okay,
good pus.
well that's a choice.
It's like tapioca pudding. Well, I get the pus and then I grind it up into a fine powder and then I use it.
Oh, new way to use it.
I grind the pus and then make it into a slime and put it on my face like a mask.
New way to use it.
I grab the pus and I just refreshing.
Oh, that sounds fun.
I didn't tell you you could use my pus.
Do you want to try some?
No, it's my pus, don't touch.
But it's tasty. It feels good on my face.
Man, you need some new friends. Man, you need a new mom. Man, sit down. Right there. Sit.
Can I have some leg
What
pus?
about me? What should I do?
Well, you're fine. This is the person I have a problem with right now. Actually, you know what? Come on over here. Oh, you want to sit too? Okay. Well, I guess
New way to sit. What is it? Let's do one more. Okay.
Okay. So what I need you to do is smack him across the face.
Do it.
Okay.
Oh, stop! Don't do it! God, what's wrong with you?
I was raised by a very problematic mother.
New choice.
I was raised by a very problematic neighbor. I was raised by 3 stray cats and a badger.
Well, that is starting to make sense. Maybe the badger, because cats are clean.
When cats are clean, that goes against my worldview. Cats are dirty, dogs are clean.
We're all sick of talking about the election, man. We're all loving talking about the election. So let's talk about the election.
I think James K. Polk could win 37 of the 42 states.
And I think that dog that he's running against has got it.
What does the dog have?
I think that dog has fleas. We can all relate.
What does the dog have?
I think that dog has scabies, and we can all relate.
Yes, for sure. Scabies and pus, and I would like pus to be my own business.
And you won't let me eat it? What if I pay
No,
you?
it's my business.
Ooh, it could be like a skincare routine.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be big in maybe a century or
Well,
so.
this is a capitalist country, so we can probably work with that. How exactly do I?
New way to get up, Tom. Get out of there.
I'm inspired.
We should inspire you more often if you start to break dance for us. Maybe you should join the Olympics in 2028.
I mean, I am Australian. I do have a PhD in breakdancing. My favorite color is green and yellow.
Let's see what green and yellow look like as a dance move.
Great.
Wow, I wish you were more bashful when you were talking about my pus.
I'm just really into the pus.
Hey!
before. Now, to get us started, can I get a location that fits on the stage? Just a location. That's fine.
Voting booth.
Where?
The voting booth.
The voting booth. Okay, let's see this.
Come up to the voting booth, 25 cents.
I
25 cents.
was told that it was free to vote.
25 cents to vote. Come on up, step on up to the booth.
Why is your booth made out of just like twigs and branches?
Most booths are made up of twigs and branches. Come on up, see. 25 cents to vote. Lots of candidates, ideal candidates for 50 cents.
I don't know. I'm feeling overwhelmed and
Mary Claire's Oscar-winning moment.
I'm feeling disenfranchised. I was told that this country was going to be run by the people, for the people. And I come here and you're asking for my coins, my hard-earned cents, just so that my voice can be heard. I may as well go back to Europe. You are a sham, sir.
$1, we guess your height and weight too.
I think this might be on us. We came to the carnival of votes.
I was told it was my polling place.
Step on up, vote right away, voting all day. 99% rate of people do not die from voting.
Tom's Oscar-winning moment.
Extra, hear all about it. Local carny folk wins presidential election in a landslide. Extra, read all about it. 3 whole votes for this man of the United States. His name is, of course,
Kevin?
Kevin, the 17th President of the United States with 3 whole votes. Now is ready to do the Louisiana Purchase. End slavery, extra, read all about it just from a simple vote. Kevin, we all adore you. Save us into the new world. Kevin, you are our only hope. Kevin, save us. Kevin, we need you.
Not qualified for this.
Kevin Sands, Oscar-winning moment.
When are you ever ready for anything? Sometimes you just gotta step up. When the world calls, you answer. I will be the 17th president of this beautiful country of pieces of states. I will buy the Louisiana from the French. I will end slavery. I will be the president. Thank you, my fellow Americans.
You can have my $1. I want to vote.
And you are 6'3" and 100.
6'4".
I was guessing throw it, you didn't give me $1.
I'm still the president. Be back here at 8 o'clock. That's about 9 minutes from now. Plan on watching 8 o'clock. Get some water, go to the bathroom, check your bartender. Be back here in 9 minutes.
The rest of this show. Are you ready to hear even more gross stuff? Then let's bring back the grossest guy I know, who's also going to be a father in December.
I don't know if you know this, but Tom is also going to be a father in March.
March!
This guy's gonna be a father in December.
Nice. said that, and then I was like, what if he left his pregnant partner at home? So we're going to talk about some more gross stories. I couldn't decide what I really wanted to talk about, so I've got 3 here. We'll do speed runs. I think we probably have time for 2, but people can cut me off if they want. So I've got 3 stories. The bizarre life cycle of intestinal hookworms. They look like this. They bite you, you bleed. We can talk about the castrating zombie parasites, or, and I don't really know how else to describe this, but there's a scientist by the name of Stubbins Firth. Firth?
No, sorry, it was
Firth?
the.
I think it's Firth. I don't know. Firth and what? Zombie parasites. Zombie? If we have time, we'll come back to the intestinal hookworms. So, castrating zombie parasites. Now, there's a species of barnacle called Loxothylacis monopii. This is a barnacle, just like a little barnacle. Anyway, this parasite has a really bizarre life cycle. And it starts with a female swimming through water, coming into contact with a mud crab. And for the sake of this life cycle, we're going to say it's a male crab, but it could be a female crab. They infect both. And this female barnacle will attach to the carapace of this crab, and it will attach, lose all of its appendages, it loses its eyeballs, and then it burrows into the body cavity of this crab. Once it's inside of the body cavity of the crab, it starts to feed and reproduce, and it forms this long mesh-like structure inside of the crab. It takes over pretty much all of its body cavity. And in doing so, if it's a male crab, it castrates. As it continues to grow and develop, that crab will start to become a little bit broader, so the males will start to look a little bit more like the female crabs. And we get this large sac-like structure developed called an externa. And this externa is the reproductive organ of the female part. So our male crab gets really big, it develops this extra organ, starts to act a little bit crazy, it's a little bit sluggish, it's a little bit more susceptible to predation. But our male barnacle then comes along and attaches to this externa, and it develops into a little sac that looks like a testicle. And it does. It fertilizes the female starts producing eggs and reproducing, and as this crab starts developing, as this externa starts developing the young, if it is a male crab, it starts to believe that it's pregnant, and it will defend that little externa testicle sac combination to the best of its ability, using all of its carbon energy. Cool. That is the castrating barnacle Loxothylacis monopii. Any questions? Lots of questions about this.
The crab stays alive?
For a while. They're susceptible to predation. Like, their body is so full of this like mesh-like stuff, they just don't move around very well. And so they're more susceptible to predation. But they do. This barnacle keeps them alive as long as they possibly can. They digest the least important parts of the crab first.
It's so drastic stuff. It's the least important part. What happens if something eats it? Are they affected?
Yeah, they all die.
Whatever eats that crab.
Yeah, because it's eating crab, externa, and testicle.
And then it dies. So then the
they
predator
digest it.
dies.
Does the predator die?
No, the predators.
Oh,
The predator survives. So the predator, it doesn't do anything to the predator.
No.
Okay. Oh, acids, that's true. Yes.
Yeah.
Do you know what it is that makes it think that it's pregnant? Like,
Uh,
wow, it's a male crab, like, what is?
Yeah, this barnacle changes the physiology of the crab, changes its hormone levels, and it thinks it's a pregnant female.
Cool.
All right, there's one scary story. Our second scary story, we'll come back to that maybe. This is, without a doubt, the worst story that I know. In 1773, there was an outbreak of yellow fever. Yellow fever is caused by a virus. It's caused by a virus, and it results in very high fevers, severe nausea and vomiting, lots of fluid being produced by these patients. Sometimes a little bit of diarrhea, but not always. Sometimes you get a couple sores building up on the body, but not always. So high fevers, vomiting, and quite lethal. But at the time, in 1793, We didn't know how it was transmitted, and of course, about 100 years later or so, we learned it was transmitted by mosquitoes. But Dr. Stubbins-Firth, he had this hypothesis that yellow fever was not directly transmissible between people, meaning that if you had yellow fever and I came into contact with you, I wouldn't get it. And so, to prove his hypothesis, Dr. Firth gathered patients with yellow fever. He got them in his clinic, and he collected blood, spit, feces, vomit, all of these different fluids from these patients, and he ate, drank, bathed in, rubbed it in his eyes, took a scalpel and lacerated his skin and rubbed it into his wounds. And on the bright side, he didn't get yellow fever because it's not transmitted that way, it's transmitted by mosquitoes. Dr. Stubbins-Firth. And that went a lot faster than I thought it would, so let's talk about hookworms.
Wait.
Oh yeah, question. Sure. What's your deal, question?
Feces into your skin, but you not get something else.
He did develop some like wound and skin infections, but he lived.
Great. Perfect.
Yeah.
Nice.
What's that?
Yet the women were dying early.
I know.
Make it to live.
I think Darwin was full of shit.
Funny enough, Earth was. All right. Well, this was a lot faster than I thought, so let's talk about hookworms. Hookworms are a nematode parasitarian worm, and they have a very bizarre life. It starts with an infected individual passing this worm in their feces. They shed these little egg sacs here. They're kind of like, there's this clear egg shell around it, and then these really bumpy like mammillations on the inside of it. And this is just passed in the feces. And in order to continue this life cycle, that feces has to enter vegetative soil. So this egg will hatch, and it'll go through a couple of successive moltings developing these larvae. And this doesn't really matter for you, but I want to sound smart. This is called a falciform larva. It's a long, slender larval stage of this parasite. And it has this really interesting behavior that after it reaches this stage of development, it does something called questing. And what questing is this parasite starts seeking out its normal hosts, which are humans, mammals, humans. And it will move up to the tippy tops of blades of grass, get on like weeds and stuff, and then it'll kind of just stretch out. And as a human passes by with exposed skin, usually barefoot, that parasite will latch hold of the skin of that human, and it will start to secrete a bunch of digestive enzymes, and it will burrow into the skin of the human, leaving behind a rash that looks something like that. Red color. That's not all, because as you might notice, the foot is down there, and the intestines are here, and they are very separate. So, from that subcutaneous tissue, our larval falciform will start to seek out blood vessels. It'll find a blood vessel or lymphatic vessel, enter into it, and travel to the heart via circulation. Then immediately it'll go to pulmonary circulation, the blood vessels around your lungs, where it will just circulate around and around and around and around, feeding on whatever's dissolved in your plasma, glucose, amino acids, whatever else, until it gets big and fat. When it gets big and fat, it gets stuck in those blood vessels. It then turns its little wormy head, and it burrows into the lung itself. Now we have larvae inside of the lungs. Is that my next image? Nope. We have larvae inside. Yeah, there's three. We have larvae inside the lungs. They're still trying to get to the intestines, so they take the most direct route possible. They crawl up your esophagus, and you swallow them down. They enter your stomach and go into your small intestine, where they exvaginate and they produce very sharp teeth on the end of their heads. And then those teeth will bite your small intestine like this and digest it, causing a little bit of blood to come out. This particular parasite here, this is a type of hookworms called Insatostoma duodenale. Symptoms associated with acquiring this infection are severe anemia, cramping, bloating, pain, bloody stools. By the way, if your stool is bloody, what does it look like? PSA. It's not red, it is black. It is jet black. So if you see black stool or black vomit, you need to go to the doctor. What's that one?
That's good.
That's good. Those are my 3 scary stories. I've been played off the stage.
What do we do?
I'm getting fat.
Not with all that energy.
No, you don't go around to get fat.
I think the opposite is the case.
You don't understand the life of a hookworm.
I'm just an inchworm.
Yeah, we're just in here.
I gotta develop my fangs.
I didn't know WormCon was going to be this intense.
Come on, guys, play along. Oh man.
I'm always so scared of the little sharp things on the edge of the little worm stuff. That's why I'm all slimy and smooth and beautiful.
More beautiful.
Stop bragging. That's silkworm.
I thought that this was for everybody, okay?
Yeah, everyone's welcome, but you don't gotta like show off your wormness.
Well, yeah, you do. Show up your worm.
Yeah, show off your inchworm.
We want to see your.
We want to see it.
Your inchwormness.
Do it.
I'm doing it now.
Oh.
Who cares about inchworm?
What kind of, I mean, you could give it some, because have you tried rolling around before? You know, maybe.
I just gotta scoot.
Let's see that. I said, let's see it.
I did.
Oh. Oh, God.
Here, we want to see it again.
Oh my gosh! That was further than an
Took
inch.
a lot of effort.
Hey guys,
Hi.
turns out that I'm not a worm at all. I was a caterpillar the whole time. Bye guys. I can't come this year.
Honey, this year for Thanksgiving, I'm making a new dish. I found a new recipe, and I think everyone's gonna love it. It's mashed potatoes with gelatin inside, jelly.
This will be so good. I love our Thanksgivings. And I decided this year for my Thanksgiving fun tradition where I disprove a common scientific theory. I'm going to show that I eat 10 hot dogs in an hour for a week straight. You won't get chicken pox.
Wow. I don't know, I think you might be onto something. You could write papers.
Scientists do?
Yeah.
So, look over your chart. You don't have chickenpox.
Yes!
You do have salmonella and high cholesterol. And all of your arteries are blocked.
But I don't have
You
chicken.
don't have chickenpox.
Suck it, Mom!
You're gonna die.
I'm going to need you to tell me more about the reason why you weren't at work today.
Oh, well, honestly, I just forgot to fill up my tank with gas before.
I know why you weren't at work today. Because I am the supervisor.
Oh, I thought you were the manager.
No, there's a distinction here. I do not manage people, I supervise them.
Well,
I'm the manager.
oh.
You, Bartholomew.
Yes, Cassandra.
No. No, this is my department.
And I manage the departments.
Oh, you always think Bartholomew runs the department.
Bartholomew does run the department. Cassandra supervises the departments.
You manage the department.
Yes.
There's a different person for running the departments.
Oh,
Right, the runner.
See?
William.
Cassandra.
Good day. I don't want you around here anymore. You are my arch nemesis.
I know, you're mine, Cassandra.
Well, what am I? Chopped liver?
Yeah, we don't really care about you.
No, we're not concerned in the slightest.
Actually, I think you might, I know you're the reason why she was late to work today. She decided to walk. She was giving up on her running job and walked. And that is why my non-managed employee was late.
You mean unsupervised employee?
No, I supervised the whole thing. That's how I know that she walked and she was late. She holds her on the way to work. Don't you understand? She carries her, but she walked today.
Nothing was running around.
Now,
Cassandra. You're the manager now.
Cassandra,
Oh.
you're the runner now.
I have so much power!
So, I know we've seen several up to now. We really got to get you in a mud crab.
So what can you do to give me an affordable mud crab today?
This part of the ocean? What if I throw in a male mud crab with a very large sack?
I do like a large sack, not that mud crabs.
You might notice our fine model here. Notice the large sack.
That's huge. Mind if I take her for a test run?
Sure.
what you see here is a male crab who now thinks he is a female.
What are you thinking?
I'm having a hard time spreading myself out.
A wider crab, perhaps. How about this model? Notice how extended the arms have to be to move. Take it for a test.
Let me come in there. See if I can really spread myself out. Protect my babies! Protect my babies!
I don't think this was working out.
No, he has no instinct to protect my babies.
Get out of here.
I want just like a wide, not only a wide and a big stack, but I want one who actually like really moves.
I got you. So what do you say we put you in this bad boy here tonight?
I am so ready for this. This mud crab looks
Another satisfied customer here at Crab.
All right, taking the auditions for the Louisville High School mascot. Come on up. Just practice. 5, 6, 7, 8 crabs. Big room. Crabs. Like to hear more crabs. We got a lot of people in line. We'll keep you on our list.
That's it? You don't want to ask me to do anything else? I practiced for 5 hours.
Can you do other stuff?
Yeah. I can get down, I can break dance a little bit.
Okay, do the crab break dance.
Crab.
Crab.
Go, green and yellow.
I like this. It's going to be hard to top.
Okay, I'll stand over there and wait and watch the next one.
Yeah. All right, next up. There's a lot of crabs today.
I'm crabbing knuckle deep in my claw.
That's so good.
Oh, I love it. We're gonna have to put you one ahead of her. with
No.
pancakes.
I can do that. I can do that.
All right, next.
Crabs to the left, crabs to the right, crabs, crabs, fight, fight, fight.
I think this is the best one I've seen yet. Let's put you at the end. I wonder if it's just all crabs. Oh, this looks very crabby.
How dare you? I'm a lobster.
Let's hear some of that rock lobster then.
You offended me. We have no lobster.
Hey, you know what?
Good day, sir.
Ooh, you made him crabby.
Okay, that was
Oh, he's gonna copy me again.
Maybe it's okay for someone to want to sit down.
Only gentlemen sit down.
Well, at least I'm using the chair properly.
This is the 1800s. We sat in chairs like this since the 1700s.
You know what? I'm gonna change all that.
No.
I'm gonna change what a chair looks like.
No.
So we sit in chairs in the year 2255.
No, we will not ever change. We don't change. I'm running to be the president. No change.
This is how we're chairs in the year 2672.
No, I refuse this change.
We must accept the change.
No.
Wow. Gentlemen are still sitting.
I did not realize that it wasn't tomato juice. It was sitting in the lab, and I served it.
That's in the entire hospital?
Just the patients who were approved to get tomato
Sure,
juice.
sure,
Right.
sure, sure.
Yeah, I
Sure, sure, sure.
go against.
All 10 gallons?
So I've already put a call into the Red Cross, because I do like to take accountability for my mistakes.
I was also just wondering, how do you feel about this garlic?
I'm now strangely attracted to garlic.
Damn it, I thought you were a vampire.
Oh no, I didn't drink the blood. I served the blood.
Gosh, you got any more of that tomato juice? This shit's great.
I've got some garlic.
Yeah.
Damn it, he's not a vampire either.
I just have an ulcer.
I'm not gonna hunt around the hospital alone if I
Wait,
find a
did
cool
you
vampire
serve me
friend.
blood?
Wait a minute. Wait, you are okay. So I'm feeling so guilty about this big mistake I made in the lab.
Everyone served blood to the patients before. It's
Did you plant the blood?
Yes, I'm trying to find a vampire.
Hello, is this the hospital?
Dr. Murphy, what are you doing?
I am just here to examine the blood.
I'll never find a vampire.
Honestly.
manager runner.
Yeah.
It's my first day. What am I?
I need you to just calm down. You were selling crabs without my approval. You sold my lead model, the best one, on a lot.
I would never do that.
And you know why I did? Because
Why
I'm
our
the
call?
head salesman, Cassandra.
Ah,
You better believe I sold that crab above sticker price.
I thought I was done with you being my nemesis. I had the power.
That was back then. This is now. How wide is your crab? How big is that?